Now I'm going to be showing you the doll that I am using. This was purchased in a recent lot of mine. I don't know if it's one of Rapunzel's daughters from Ever After High, but I'm not completely sure on it. It's one that the arms are not posable with, so I wanted to do something special with her since she is in somewhat of a ballerina pose. But first I have to take care of the hair. Her hair was slightly greasy, so a trick that I learned actually from Delightful and I think Blank Space Dolls, he's used this technique before, is the baby powder technique. It's where the glue is seeping out of the head on the hair with uh, the baby powder will attach itself to the glue and dry it out, and as you will see later on, I do wash it out and I make sure that it's completely clean before I actually do start working on it. Here you can see that I'm rubbing it in and I'm brushing it to make sure that it gets right into the scalp area, because that's where it needs to work the best, is when you rub the baby powder into the scalp area of the doll and then brush it through. And as that happens, the hair will become drier. It does actually have a very nice scent too, as well as lightening the hair, so it is not recommended to do with darker colored hair, usually with either auburn brown, or not auburn brown, but like light brown and blonde hairs. A blonde hair, it's actually recommended for those. As seen here, you see that I have sanded down her body a little bit. It's to get that gloss top off. I was actually trying to sand off her ballerina outfit, but that didn't work. On her foot, I did put a couple holes in it. I am planning on selling her with a small stand so that she can stand up. She is probably going to be the only doll that I do sell with a stand. And now I am taking 100% acetone and cleaning up her face. Please, if you use acetone, do keep a bottle of lotion nearby. It does dry out your hands very, very badly. Now, after the head is cleaned off and washed off as well, the hair is pulled back, I wanted to paint the bodysuit since I couldn't get the little extra details off of her. I decided, oh, okay, well, let's make this part of her outfit, because with most ballerinas that I have seen on stage that have played Clara usually do have a unitard, as do most of the other ballerinas on stage, of course. So I wanted to change it up, and I got inspired by a few pictures from Pinterest. For those of you who don't know, the Nutcracker is one of my favorite ballets. It's one of the first ballets I was introduced to when I was a child, and it is actually the only play that I have ever seen on stage. I actually had to go to a couple of performances during my time in high school, because for whenever you took like a music class or a theater class or something like that, you had to see a live performance and you had to write a paper on it. Here I am doing the face up. I've already prepped the face with 2 or 3 layers of Liquitex matte medium, and now I am using my I think those are my chalk pastels for doing the blushing and a little bit of the lip and some of the eyeshadow as well. The reason why I'm using just lighter colors and giving the doll a little bit of a muted tone and a childlike face is because Clara is a child, and she receives a nutcracker for her holiday gift, and that's one thing that I wanted to keep within this is that childlike awe in her. She is one of my favorite characters, but I would have to say my favorite movement of the entire symphony has to be Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairies. And the reason for that is because my mother got me a music box when I think I was 16. She got it for me for Christmas, and it plays Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairies, and it has a ballerina on point, of course. And for those of you who don't know, on point is different than when they actually go on their toes. On point is when they actually have to use a special type of shoe. It has a hard, I guess you can say, cup type thing in the toes of the shoe, so that the ballerina can stand just on that direct point of on the tippy toes. And it's very dangerous and it's very hard to become an on-point ballerina. But my mother got me the music box, and I have moved a couple of times, and it has not broken, which I'm very happy. Anyway, let's get back to the doll repainting. Sorry for the rambling. Now I wanted to give her blue eyes because that was seen in a couple of the pictures that I had found online. I mostly went to Pinterest and looked up nutcracker or ballet. That's basically what I did. And I saw a lot of blues, a lot of greens. I've seen a couple of like the ivory dresses and stuff like that. Well, I didn't want to do the ivory dress because that gives me too many Maria from West Side Story vibes. So I wanted it to have blue because to me, Christmas colors or holiday colors, whatever name that you want to, or whatever holiday you celebrate, you actually, the holiday colors for me have always been like the silvers, the blues, the greens. And I wanted to incorporate that into my Clara as well.
All the way, bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
After the face-up is finished, and I actually do finish the doll later on, I wanted to take a break and start on the small mock-up of how I wanted the Nutcracker to look. I was originally going to use a Legos minifigure, but apparently my daughter didn't have any. Zarita probably sold them all to our local used bookstore. So here I am doing a small mock-up of what the Nutcracker that I wanted to make looks like. Now I am going to be taking air dry clay and using that. I know that there are probably better materials out there, but I had to use what I had. I had to use what I had on hand. So now you are going to be seeing me start to work out the shapes. As you can tell, that lamp on the side is how I usually get, I used to use that to get better light angles for the videos. Now I'm doing the shoes, and as I'm working, I'm trying to stay true to the mock-up. I had to change some things around. I did make a couple of mistakes, which is understandable. I kept in the mistakes because I wanted to show that I don't really know what I wanted to show, but I wanted to show that you can overestimate yourself, but it's okay. Like right here, when I make the small mistletoe thing to put on the hat, yeah, that didn't turn out how I wanted it, so I just ended up crumbling it and just turning it into something else. Um, but after I let the pieces dry, I ended up painting them. Unfortunately, I did not get that on video because I was just trying to just get everything out and put together. You're gonna see it in the final product, which is coming up in the next slide. Um, I'm proud of her, but I'm not. And the reason why I say that is because I didn't take as much time as I wanted to on the stand. For those of you who don't know, Zarita had surgery a little over a week ago, and during that time I was still working on this, and so I couldn't like complete it in time, which was something I wanted to do. But she's doing a lot better. This piece is unfortunately not going to be sold on my eBay store. I am going to keep it, just keep it up for a little bit. I may tweak it here and there. I may end up redoing a lot of stuff on it. But this is one of those trial and error things that I jumped into the deep end before I knew how to swim type scenarios. But if you liked what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. You see my social medias up in the left-hand corner, and the right-hand corner is the subscribe button. And in the center of the screen is a video recommended to you by the YouTube algorithm. I do have a Patreon, which is down in the description below, along with my eBay store with my other dolls that I have for sale. I'm going to be taking a break for a little bit I'm possibly not going to be uploading as much as I really want to. Like I had strove for a schedule of posting once a week. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be doing that. I'm doing a lot of different things offline. If you want to be kept in the loop, I'm mostly going to be posting on my Patreon. And of course I post on social media, of course, all the time. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a very happy holidays. Hope you guys had a good Christmas or Yule or Hanukkah or whatever you guys celebrate. Thank you so much, and have a good day.